Hey everyone, and welcome back to a brand new Star Wars ranking here on the channel. My name is SW Nation. I would like to stop and take the time to rank all 8 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2, ranked from the worst to the best. Please note that everything that I will say in this video is just my very own opinion. My list is certainly not the right list, it is just my list. And you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 8 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into my ranking. Kicking off my list at number 8 has got to go to Chapter 9, The Marshal. There's nothing really bad with this chapter. I really do love it. The first time that I saw it, October 31st on Halloween, I was like, yes, this episode is great. This season is going to be great. But it didn't feel like it was setting up anything for the rest of the season going forward. It just felt like, okay, him and this other guy and a couple of villagers are going to team up to defeat something that's terrorizing both sides of the villagers. And to me, I felt like I've seen that before, and it's exactly what almost every other episode inside of The Mandalorian is. It feels like I've seen something like that before, because it is a Western and it's inspired by that. But I do feel like this episode does not feel like it's setting up anything for the rest of the season going forward. All Mando does is just get the Boba Fett armor, and we see Boba Fett. But that's about it, and there's not much Mando is doing inside of this episode that's setting up the rest of the season. Coming in at number 7 for me has got to go to Chapter 10, The Passenger. I know a lot of people did not like this episode. This could have been their worst episode of this season. To me, I absolutely loved it. Just like The Marshal, I loved that episode, but I loved this one more. Just building up on that suspense and the horror of like those space spiders. I don't know, man. I really did just love this episode. And also just the tension between the Razor Crest and the 2 X-Wings. That whole entire sequence when the X-Wings were like, we still need to run your plates or something like that. I don't know, but I just know that sequence right there was tense. It was suspenseful. And once the chase scene happens, it just picks up to gear, and it works for me on so many levels. And also, I really do love the frog lady. I know a lot of people didn't like the fact that Baby Yoda was eating eggs, but I mean, he ate frogs in the last season. He ate spiders in this season, you know. Baby Yoda is just a baby, so I don't know why he can't eat eggs. But I do love this episode. I really did enjoy it. A nice little taxi driver episode, like Mando is just taking this person to his destination so then she can give him the information. Coming in at number 6 for me has got to go to Chapter 12, The Siege. Chapter 12, The Siege was an episode that I really did not pay that much attention to. Now, it doesn't mean that I didn't rewatch it for this ranking. It just means that the first time I saw it, I really was not invested. And I missed the jeans guy. Like, what? That's his name? Jean shirt guy or something like that? The guy that was found, you know, inside of the Imperial's hideout. Is that his name? Jean shirt guy or something like that? But I do really enjoy this episode. I like the fact that it's actually moving the plot forward. Mando just comes back to see his old friends. We see familiar faces return. Even his first bounty, Cara Dune. It was just a great episode that portrayed many familiar faces that we've seen before inside of Season 1. We also get a little bit more detail on what Moff Gideon is doing and the Dark Troopers, so I really do like that. And we also get a little bit of a tease of the cloning thing, which could be the thing that led to Snoke being created. I don't know. But I gotta say, this episode was pretty good. The action was just non-stop, and I really do enjoy it after rewatching it. But the first time, I was completely bored. Kicking off my top 5 list has gotta go to Chapter 11, The Heiress. Chapter 11, The Heiress was an episode that was very well handled. I loved the concept of just other Mandalorians and they're able to take off their helmets at their free will. I really do love Bo-Katan. I love Sasha Banks inside the role. I love the other guy, even though he didn't return inside of the season. I just love to see new Mandalorians, other Mandalorians. As someone who didn't catch up on Rebels or Clone Wars, I gotta say, Bo-Katan seems like she's gonna be a nice character. And if they announce her getting her own show tomorrow, I would not be surprised, because she is a great character, and this episode portrayed that, while also giving out some more mysteries on the Darksaber and Moff Gideon, and also Bo-Katan's relationship to those two things, Moff Gideon and the Darksaber. Real quick, before I get into my top 4, I'd like to take the time to say that if you are a fan of Star Wars, which you probably are, that's why you're watching this video, click that playlist up above for everything Star Wars related that I have on my channel. Also, if you are a fan of the DCEU, I am doing a DCEU rewatch on my podcast. Also, if you are a fan of the MCU, join me on December 31st where I will be ranking all 31 films in the DCEU and the MCU, excluding Wonder Woman 84. So join me on the 31st of December where I will be ranking all 31 films inside of that franchise. Like, comment, and subscribe, and without further ado, let's get into my top 4. Coming in at number 4 for me has got to go to Chapter 13, The Jedi. I really did love this episode. Just seeing Ahsoka Tano in live action was such a interesting concept, and I feel like they perfectly landed the ship with it. As Dave Filoni being an Ahsoka Tano shill, I really do love the fact that he kind of dialed back on her importance and still made the episode about Mando and also Baby Grogu. But as someone who's never seen the Clone Wars or ever caught up on Rebels, I've seen the first couple episodes when they first came out, but I just never caught up with it. As someone who's never seen those two shows, I gotta say, I'm very much excited for this Ahsoka Tano show, and I just can't wait to see what they do with this character, because inside of this episode, she was borderline perfect to me, especially that little fight scene in Star Wars Japan. Kicking off my top 3 list has got to go to Chapter 15, The Believer. I really do love this episode. What it does for Mando and Bill Burr's character works. And like I said, Bill Burr, he's back. I kind of did enjoy his character inside of Season 1. He brought a nice little energy to the role and also to the show. But going inside of Season 2, I was like, okay, why are we bringing this character back? What is he going to do? But now I know they gave him a lot more development, and he actually spit some facts and some knowledge inside of this episode and telling this type of stuff to Mando so then he can also understand the state of the galaxy right now. But also going back to Mando, just seeing him take off his helmet so suddenly to do the face scan thing, it shows how determined and how much he wants to get this child back. And it shows that he will do everything that it takes to get this child back. And I think that makes him one of the most grounded and most relatable and one of the best characters inside of Star Wars and the best character inside of this show. My runner-up at number 2 has got to go to Chapter 14, The Tragedy. When I first saw the title of this episode, I was like, man, Baby Yoda's gonna die. He is going to die. They're going to show up, they're going to kill Baby Yoda, and Mando is going to go wild. Or maybe it could have been Mando that died and Baby Yoda going wild. But instead, it was the Razor Crest, which was still very sad. It was still very emotional because, you know, that's a ship that we've been with ever since day one. But still, I really do love this episode. What it does emotionally, just the tension inside of it, the urgency to get Baby Yoda off the little thing so then the Dark Troopers won't get him. Just for Baby Yoda to send out that message really quick, and like Mando just keeps coming back to check on Baby Yoda while he's also having a battle down there. It's just a whole lot of urgency and tension inside of the mix. But we also get a ferocious, don't hold anything back Boba Fett. Just the sheer brutality that he takes out on the stormtroopers just was beautiful. But coming in at my number 1, and you probably already guessed this, it has to go to Chapter 16, The Rescue. Just this episode right here was one of the most emotional, one of the most payoff things inside of this entire show. Mainly because this entire season finale revolved around on everything that was set up from the moment that Mando met Baby Yoda. We knew that they were going to have to say goodbye at one point. And when it happened, it became one of the most emotional moments inside of the entire show. And one of the most character-devoted moments inside of the entire show. Yeah, we got Darksabers, we got Bo-Katan, we got the other Mandalorian, we got the Rangers of the New Republic in there, we got Dark Troopers. We also got Luke Skywalker showing up, which was awesome and amazing. I loved what they did with Luke inside of The Last Jedi. I know a lot of people didn't. I love what they did with Luke inside of The Last Jedi. And I love what they did with Luke inside of this season finale. But we have all of these different things going on, but the main focus of this season finale is the relationship between Baby Yoda and Mando. And that's what makes me love this season finale and also this episode. So it has high highs, it has great moments, big reveals, awesome action sequences, big urgency, big tension. but it also has great emotional payoff. So that is why Chapter 16, The Rescue, has to come in at number 1. Alright guys, that was it for the ranking. Please note that everything that I did say in this video was just my very own opinion. My list was certainly not the right list, it was just my list, and you are free to comment down below your ranking of all 8 episodes of The Mandalorian Season 2, ranked from the worst to the best, just like me, or you could just do your favorite. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Peace.